All right, hello. Um, this is Timothy Alex demo for graphics with Dr. Sanders, and I'm going to be going over the fractal terrain generation. So we have two files. We have fractal terrain manual editor.java, and then we also have LWJGL object viewer. So the difference between the two is, well, first off, they both manipulate the terrain, but the LWJGL object viewer manipulates it using key and mouse, where the fractal terrain manual editor is more of a manual editing with a scanner object, which receives user input to calculate which part of the terrain do you want to manipulate. So it's a little bit less interactive, or let's say in real time interaction, but it still achieves the same objective. So to start off, I will run this one to demonstrate. So we could choose either to raise, lower, flatten. I'll just raise, and then we'll do like a random coordinate on the terrain, and then we could do the strength. So this will be like as high or low as you want the raise to be. So I'll just do 50, and then we could click number 4, which is save and exit, and then it'll generate. And as you can see down here, we have a little mountain thing which was generated. Seems to be on the edge of it. Maybe it was out of bounds. But if I were to do it in the middle, it would have been a perfect mountain. Then you could also do flatten, raise, lower. So you can manipulate it that way. Or if we go over to the LWJGL viewer, this is more of a real-time manipulator, although it is within the LWJGL object viewer. So as you can see here, you can manipulate it like this, and you see how it kind of like gets twisted up and down like this, just like that. And if we go ahead and take a look at my code, so this is the mouse control terrain manipulation. So this is the LWJGL object viewer. Um, So we have this load object with the object file path to load the original file path. And then we have private void load obj with that file path. So this is us calling it within main. And so it loads a 3D object from an obj file, and then it has a scanner, which reads each line from the file using a scanner. And then if the line starts with V, it defines a vertex, which is added to the vertices list. And then if a line starts with F, it defines a face for a triangle, referencing 3 different vertex indices. And then this parsing allows the product to store and then later render the model. And then down here, um, where is that? Yeah, no. Right here, we have a double for mouse X and mouse Y. So this is handling getting the cursor position of the mouse and the Y. And then we also have the camera angle, which can be changed based upon where the mouse is. So, and it keeps track of where the last mouse X and the last mouse Y position is. And then we also have a Boolean right here to check for mouse drag. And then we also have render obj. So we have a push matrix function right here, which pushes the obj coordinates, and we also have handling of camera angle rotations. And then we also have GL translate, which basically moves the model back to be visible. And then we have rotate, another function which basically rotates the model based on camera movement. Um, and then we have GL begin, which starts the triangles rendering. We can set the color. We have a for loop which loops through all the faces, gets all the vertices, and draws each triangle. And then if we go to the manual generation manual editor, you can see we have a call for interactive terrain modification right here within main. So this is a call to a function which manipulates the terrain. here is the function for manipulating the terrain. You get the float of the height map, and then you have a new scanner, scan in, while true. So while we are receiving a scanner object and receiving user input from the console, we will have options for the user to pick, which is either 1, 2, 3, or 4 for raise, which would raise the terrain, lower, which would lower the terrain or flatten the terrain. Then we also have 4, which is the save and exit, and then we have an int choice, which is the int for whichever scan, whichever the user enters for the scan. And then we have a break statement for if the user chooses 4. We have a saving and exiting println, which will basically exit out of the loop, and then it would produce an obj file from if it breaks. And then we have scanner enter x coordinate, and then this another integer, which is x for the x coordinate, which the user inputs. And that is what I contributed to the code. Thank you so much for watching my graphics fractal terrain generation video.